Street Studios. It's Carmen and Jurko. Welcome in. Wait, hold on. Turn that mic on. Make sure his mic's on. There you go. You're good. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, good to be here.
Patrick Kane Day
welcome
next
back.
month.
Welcome back.
You're still in Chicago a lot, though, aren't you?
Yeah, I spend the summers here.
Yeah.
So.
Training here?
Yeah. So.
When you hear that highlight, what do you think? Yeah, I don't know if you caught a lot of it. You were walking in, but that was 2010
I know.
in Philly.
It's crazy. It's been 15 years. I guess that's the first thought, right? But yeah, I mean, just the way it went in. You hear Eddie O saying the puck stuck to the back of the pad there, and I've actually had bad dreams where that puck doesn't go in, and I'm going around the ice throwing.
Have you really had that dream?
Oh yeah, plenty of times where I'm throwing my equipment off and the puck's not in the net. So I was pretty sure about it at the time. So thankfully it did go in real life. But yeah, what an incredible moment. I mean, 2010, first cup in 49 years for Chicago, and just the start of something special for our group.
It sure was. Like of all the incredible just moments that you had in clutch situations, whether it was like the goal against the Kings to knock them out, or had the hat trick against Vancouver the year. I know that year you guys didn't make it to the final. You lost to Detroit, but is a cup winning goal still got to be like the creme de la creme out of all the big things you've done in your career?
No, yeah, for sure. I think there's other moments for sure that hit the heart a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't think anything compares to scoring a goal in overtime for the Stanley Cup. I mean, that's what you do when you're a kid, right? Like that's how you practice. That's what you dream of yourself doing actually in real life. So I mean, I think it was incredible that it happened. I mean, I was 21 years old when it happened too. So it's like, where do you go from here? But after that, it was even more special, right? Just the kind of run we went on to win 3 in 6 years and continue it on and keep getting better and better. But, I mean, you want to be that guy in those situations, whether it's overtime in regular season, overtime in the playoffs, and then obviously to win the Stanley Cup, you're hoping you're going to be that guy to come through for the team. So it was great to see it go in.
You're going into year 19.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like
Jaromir Jagr.
Well, not quite, but I mean,
Jaromir Jagr. My heavens!
Like at any point, at any point, did you think, man, like physically, mentally, just I don't know if I can. I mean, obviously, you've got the fortitude to keep wanting to be doing it, but like, was there any ever point where maybe physically you were like, boy, I don't know how much longer I'll be able to do this?
Yeah, I think a few years back my hip started acting up, and that was causing me some trouble. So like just day-to-day things like going on the ice for practice was just kind of a pain, and something like I used to love to practice, and all of a sudden you're just going out there to get through it, So that was kind of, something I knew I needed to get fixed. And then once I fixed the hip, I'm starting to feel really good again. So excited about where I'm at. But yeah, the other day, me and my son, we were counting my seasons to see what I was at and what year this was going to be for me. I wasn't completely sure. So pretty crazy. It's 19.
Like you said, when you were 20, 21, you could recover. If you had a back-to-back, it'd be easy for you. Now, if you got back-to-backs, what's recovery time like now?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It depends, right? I mean, we had a back-to-back this year in Utah and Colorado at altitude, and that was a tough one. Other than that, I mean, you try to do all the right things. Now, back then, like you said, your body just recovers. Nowadays, you might have to put a little bit more effort into it, but I actually feel pretty good as far as like energy levels and recovery standpoint. It's just kind of making sure you're like, obviously I got to watch my hip. I got to do other things and make sure I'm maybe taking care of that a little bit more.
Is there an exit strategy? I mean, at some point you see like, if I play 24 years and say, okay, it's the hell with it. Is there a goal? Yeah. Is there something in mind that I like to make it here, and when I do, all right.
Yeah, I mean, I just played my 1,300th game this year, and I was thinking after that, like, if I could get to 1,500, that would be pretty cool. So that'd be 3 more years. I mean, now I'm thinking, like, I want to play as long as I can.
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think at this point you just kind of take it year by year, and I've been signing these 1-year deals, so it works out pretty well. But I think just take it year by year, and hopefully I can keep playing as long as I can. You want to play at a high level too, right? You don't want to be just some guy out there. So once I see that, kind of fade a little bit, it's probably time.
Patrick Kane's in studio with us. It's Carmen and Jurko on ESPN 1000 and the ESPN Chicago app. You can watch us on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Carmen and Jurko. Since you brought up that number 1,300, I got a few numbers for you. Let's see.
Okay.
We'll play number association game. Let's see how good you are. All right. 1,374. Do you know what that number means?
That's got to be Mike Modano's career points.
That is Mike Modano's career points. You're 32 points away from passing Modano as the all-time leading scorer amongst American-born players.
Yeah. I mean, that would be amazing, right? I mean, I think as a young kid, growing up in Buffalo, I think I'm a good player. I think at that point you're probably trying to shoot for maybe a college scholarship, and then all of a sudden things just start taking off. All of a sudden you're playing, and I remember going into my draft year, at the start of the year, they had me ranked third or fourth round. And then by Christmas, all of a sudden I was jumping up to first overall, And you get drafted first overall. You're in Chicago. I mean, what a great city to come to.
Yeah.
I was talking about it earlier, coming from Buffalo and then London, and all of a sudden you're in Chicago. I was so overwhelmed from the city, the traffic, the people, the cars, how big the city was. The first thing I did when I came in was go to a Cubs game. I threw out the first pitch, sang the seventh inning stretch. And I was just what am I getting myself into here? I'm 18 years old, and it's you're just kind of overwhelming, And then all of a sudden, you just grow to love the city and everything about it. And now I spend my summers here and consider it my home. So it's great coming back. I love the city. I love it in the summertime. And obviously, had an amazing time playing here and what we were able to accomplish with those 3 cups too. So, yeah, I mean, it's just it's a special city, special place in my heart.
You think Chicago will be home even after you're done playing?
I think so, yeah. We love coming back here, and it's got so much to offer. And obviously we come back for the off season, but it's meant so much to me, and it's been great just kind of transitioning to this into our home.
All right, here's another number, 792. Do you know what that number represents? 792.
The amount of fights that Patrick got into.
Maybe when he was young at Honey Baked.
Minus 792.
Game misconducts.
Right?
Game misconducts.
792.
792.
Let me think here. 792.
I don't know. 792.
It's the
I
number
gave you my
of
guess.
points Kaner scored in the 2010s, which is the most in the NHL. Did you know that?
Okay. Yeah, I knew I led it in 2010, but I didn't know what the actual number was.
792. Only 5 players in the decade of the 2010s scored 700 or more points. Can you name them all? Go ahead, try.
5 players?
5 players.
Sidney Crosby.
Kaner, Sid. Who else?
Yevgeny Malkin, or whatever his name is.
Ovi. I thought you were going to say Ovechkin.
Fine, Ovechkin.
Evgeny Malkin? No.
Yeah, Malkin.
Ovi.
Not Malkin?
No.
In the 10s.
The Hawks played against one of the guys.
Bergeron.
No, not Bergeron. Good guess. The Hawks played against Claude Giroux.
Claude Giroux.
Can you get the last one?
Malkin's not there?
Malkin is not on
the
there.
guy
Believe it or not. There's one other guy. Still playing today.
Still
Kaner.
now? Marchand.
Nope, not Marchand.
That's a good
The
guess.
little rat. Centerman?
John Tavares.
Tavares.
He's the only 5.
Toronto now, right? He's in Toronto?
He's in Toronto. He's been for a while. Kaner was number 1. You watched the playoffs? So you guys came so close this year, too. How much do you still watch, from start to finish?
I watch a lot of it.
Yeah.
I watch pretty much all the games, to be honest with you. So, it sucks being on your couch and watching.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you're watching, you're thinking about, what it would be like in that situation if you were playing. So, hopefully this year we'll get back to playoffs and be able to compete because, it's tough watching when you feel like you should be in those situations. And, I always love playing in playoffs and, especially when the games are tight and it goes to overtime and you're thinking about different memories of, what you had when you're going into the locker room and just thinking about what's going to happen in overtime and trying to be the guy to score the goal. So, I miss it for sure.
Have you talked to Taves since how great is that he gets to kind of maybe go out now? I don't know. It feels like on his own terms a little bit more. And to be able to come back at some point this year and experience what you experienced the first time you came back. What do you think that's going to be like for him?
No, for sure. I was thinking about that too. He's going to have an unbelievable reception and ovation when he comes back. And, I think it's, as I'm sure if you asked us, 5-6 years ago, we'd probably all tell you that we were going to finish with with the Blackhawks and play for one team. But it's cool to get some different experiences and play a different franchise and see what else is out there a little bit. So I'm happy he's coming back. I mean, obviously he gets another chance to play for a good team in Winnipeg and you know, his hometown and like you said, finish out the way he wants, but also that he's feeling good, right? I mean, I think it's important that he's feeling good and he's able to come back, so that's important.
What were the emotions like that first time back? And was that the game? Was the first time you were back with Detroit the game where you had the winner in overtime?
Yeah.
I feel like it was a breakaway winner in overtime, right?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was a crazy day. Chelios's number was getting retired before the game, so we had that.
Wow.
You know, first period, you're just waiting to get to that first time out so you can, you know, do the tribute video and kind of do your little lap and kind of get that over with. But that was unbelievable, too. The video was incredible. I'm really happy that, you know, you try to stay in the moment and just experience it all and just the cheers and everything. And the reception I got was incredible. And then just the way to finish it off, right? You score in overtime on a breakaway and then got to give like another salute, another lap, and just kind of be like, you know, a Blackhawk again, I guess, for lack of a better word, and just show them how much they meant to me, and I'm sure they were doing the same thing. So it was nice to have that moment, and just the way it all went down was just incredible.
Speaking of like those moments that you guys were able to bring to the city and that like you share as players and as teammates, but then the kind of connection to the fans, there really is nothing like that cup, that trophy. No matter like if you're a big hockey fan or not, there's just something about it. You see, you know, you just saw it a few weeks ago. They were doing it in Florida again. You see Brad, you know, they can barely keep Brad Marchand standing up for crying out loud. But like the videos are always classic, and the connection that you guys have with the fan bases, that cup, just like there's something about it, and it just people are gravitated.
It's a magnet,
right? It is. It's like a magnet. And those parties always seem like they were so much fun, and they're great for the fans.
Oh yeah, yep. And, you know, we were talking about it, too, the other day, how, like, you know, you can have your cup day and you can do this certain event and all this stuff, and people aren't coming to see you. They're coming to see the cup, you know? And like you said, people are drawn to that thing. It's a magnet. You know, I think one of the things, you know, looking back on it, I was really proud of is just kind of the way we went around the city and kind of tried to go as many places as we could with that thing, even if you're stopping into a restaurant or something for, you know, a minute, taking a picture, you know, letting the owner, you know, touch the cup, hold the cup, have a picture, and then you move on and go to the next place, you know. And we did that with so many different places. It was really cool just to kind of see the excitement that, you know, we would think of them and bring the cup to their place and kind of share it with the city. But that was important to us because, you know, I mean, the city was just behind us all the way, you know, especially when we started those playoff runs. You could really feel the city get into it and how excited they were. And, you know, not only the amount of people at games, but you had 2 million people at parades. And, you know, you drive around during playoffs, you see people with their jerseys on and everything. So it was incredible the way the city got behind us.
Patrick Kane's in studio. So Patrick Kane Day is going to be happening next month, and we'll give you guys details in the coming weeks too. But the thing you got to remember first and foremost is that this is going to be kind of an all-day thing on August 8th, of course, 8/8, which makes a lot of sense. You can come out and celebrate Kaner's career here with the Hawks and the legacy and everything else. You got a few things going on, and it's going to start with a youth hockey clinic at Johnny's West. And anybody that wants to sign up can come to that? Anybody with young kids, is that right?
Yep.
All right, so it'll be there's going to be a youth hockey clinic at 9. There's going to be an autograph signing at the Chicago Sports Museum at 11:30, and then at night, this is going to be the really cool part, the Q&A special event at Morgan Manufacturing in the West Loop, which is a great event space. That's going to be at 6:30. So you can buy tickets at Eventbrite. Just search Patrick Kane. It'll be as simple as that. What are you looking forward to most, do you think, of all those things?
I think just the whole day in general, you know, I mean, just the way everything went, you know, the exit from Chicago, getting traded to New York, and then being in Detroit for a couple of years, there really hasn't been any time to kind of, you know, show my love for the city of Chicago and give back a little bit. So a lot of the proceeds will be going to 1616 as well, which is Andrew Ladd's foundation, which is great for mental wellness for kids. Nice. So, you know, it's nice to give back for, you know, a great cause as well. But I think the dinner at night will be pretty fun, just to kind of, Pat Boyle's going to MC it. I'm going to be up on stage with him, and we're going to, do like, conversation interview and just kind of talk about all the moments from the past and the great memories we've had. But it'll be nice to give back a little bit and spend the day with a bunch of people from Chicago and just not necessarily, say your goodbye or whatever, but just kind of do something for the city, because it's been a couple of years since I left.
You played your first season as a teenager. You were Rookie of the Year. Connor Bedard has played 2 full seasons as a teenager. He turns 20 next week, or 10 days. What do you see big picture for Bedard? And you've gotten to see him up close. We talked to Duncan Keith last week, actually. It was nice to catch up with him just after he got into the hall. Jesse Rogers was in for York one day, and we talked to Duncan, and he hadn't played against him. We were just talking about Bedard, but from your perspective about what you think the future holds for him, and just how challenging it is to play not one but your first 2 full seasons in this league as a teenager. It just doesn't happen a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah, he's a young kid, and sometimes it doesn't happen overnight. It's a tough league to get adjusted to. I went through my growing pains. A lot of these, guys that play right away, they don't have those extra years to develop, right? So, listen, I don't think there's any concern about him. I think he's got a great career ahead of him. I think he's, it sounds like he wants to be a Blackhawk for a long time, and it sounds like, they're trying to build around him, which I think is a good thing too. They've had so many draft picks and so many prospects in the system. It's like, eventually some of those guys are going to emerge and be part of this thing, right? So I think they got a bright future, and he's going to lead it. And for an 18, 19-year-old kid, for the couple seasons he's had, it's pretty incredible, and everything he's been doing. So I think he's got a really bright future. And he's just going to get better and better with time. He seems like a kid that really wants to get better too, so I wouldn't have any concern or worry about him.
Would a move to the wing benefit him?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think for me, I was a smaller player, right? And I played wing, and that was, the demand is a little bit easier compared to, a center where you got to play that full 200-foot game and be responsible in your own end. So maybe, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure what they had planned for him for his career, but even when I was in like my I think my 4th or 5th season, they wanted to try me at center. You never really know what's going to happen. I played pretty much the whole year at center, and then went back to the wing the next year. So I think it's beneficial to play different positions and kind of learn everything. And when I played center, I was playing with Marian Hossa. Like he's one of the best back checkers of all time.
He's a workhorse.
Yeah, so it's like it's easy on me because he's back checking. He's the first guy back, and all of a sudden, I'm not necessarily playing center, even though I'm lining up at that position, right? So, you get him some. I don't want to say, you want to put him with defensive guys, but some responsible players that can play both ways and be a workhorse, like you said, Yerk, and. All of a sudden that helps him out a little bit. So, I could see him playing either position, to be honest with you.
What do you still like doing in the city when you are free? I mean, it's different now. You've got a young son. I mean, it's like life's a lot different than when you're rolling around when you're young. But like you talked about how much of a connection you have, and you're still here and you train here. What do you still like doing around the city, especially when the weather's nice?
Yeah, we golf quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's nice to get out and golf. I always think an underrated part of the city is, going on the water here. That's kind of like a forgotten part. I actually told my son the other day I'd like to take him to a baseball game this summer. He wants to go to a baseball game, so it'd be fun to do that.
Plenty of room on the south side.
All right, smart ass.
Plenty of tickets.
Yeah. Such a smart ass.
Whatever you need, we'll get you 10-pack.
We'll get you tickets.
Yeah, we'll get you
the suite. Don't
Whatever you need.
Boy, never fails.
But yeah, he's actually in skating lessons.
Is he?
So it's like that's
how old is he?
He's 4.
Yeah,
it's about the time, right?
Yeah.
Does he like it?
I started at like 6, but it seems like kids start a little bit earlier these days, and he loves it.
That's
he thinks the time goes by so fast.
Does he got soft hands? Can you tell already?
He's a righty, actually. So we'll see. He's more of a shooter right now. He doesn't really like to pass it back to me, but that's okay.
Something I found out on it being over there was
in Scotland.
Scotland. A couple Canadian guys were up there. They say it's 50-50 in Canada, lefties and righties on a hockey rink. 50-50.
Really?
In America, it's nowhere even close to that with hockey players. Most of them are right-handed, and you got a handful of lefties out here.
Yeah.
So it's nuts. He goes, if you're going to play hockey, they want left-handed guys in Canada.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So the guy, I said, it's nuts. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All those lefties up there.
How's the golf game?
It's all right.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think I'm around like maybe 7 handicap.
I knew it was going to be some like
16
single digit.
16. All right.
16 here.
That's a lot of strokes.
Where are you at?
That's a lot of strokes.
Yeah.
I was a member down at Beverly for a while.
Yeah.
That's a great
played
old
there.
course.
Yeah, so it's awesome. I love that
great
course.
old
It's
course.
great playing there. I could, you could play there. That's like an everyday course, right?
Yeah.
You can play. Playing up north a lot
Yeah.
recently. A lot of courses up there, so it's nice to get around and just play different courses.
Don't let his 16 fool you. He's sandbagging.
He's sandbagging, huh? Wow.
You are a little
My
bit.
handicaps come down.
Well,
Yeah, but he
Come on.
plays to like more like a 12, I would say. Somehow it's a 16. I don't
I
buy it.
appreciate it.
if you're taking trips to Scotland, right?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
like-
Really?
there's- that's a little
Glorious.
questionable. That's a high handicap.
You've got
to
to
be in
go.
Scotland.
You've got to go.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've
if you've
heard
never
good
been, you're thinking about it, taking the guys with you.
Yeah.
We went on a trip, 12 people. You got to go.
Yeah.
I mean, just something to do. We played
Yeah.
St. Andrews.
Did you
We got
really?
on, Played
Awesome.
the old
Yeah,
course.
Yeah,
in the
he got
morning.
lucky. Like
The
there's
new
a-
course in the
Well,
afternoon.
there's a lottery,
Wow.
right? He was saying you got lucky and you won.
Yeah, there's a 3-man lottery, a 2-man lottery, and a single draw lottery. So I got on with the 2-man lottery. And it was 7:20 in the morning, which
Lucky
was nice.
bastard.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
but you got to go. You love golf, you're going to go.
Yeah.
You and the boys. Take
Sounds
Duncan
great.
out there. Does Duncan play? Take
I don't
Soupy
know.
with you.
That's the one guy
Take
you wouldn't
Soupy
take.
with you.
Yeah, right. Soupy will play.
Soupy will play.
Soupy will
Soupy,
play,
Sharpie.
Hockey players are
Sharpie.
usually great golfers.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
of the old guys. Go ahead.
A lot of the swing like translates.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Like Savvy. Savvy could play.
Oh, yeah, he's
Savvy. I
good.
played with Savvy this summer.
Savvy
Yeah.
slaps that little ball
Yeah.
around. Dale Talon
Yeah,
used to be
Dale.
phenomenal. He was
Dale's
unbelievable.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
Savvy loves telling that Taylor Swift story. Have
Yeah,
you
he
heard
does.
it? I mean, I swear.
He
to God.
always brings that one
He
up.
loves that Taylor Swift story from when you were young
Yeah.
and she was young. I'd be like, nobody
Yeah.
really even.
Yeah.
But she was popular. But that story he tells it, and that's like totally true. He's not embellishing any of that.
he's right on with that. So I don't know why he always.
Well,
brings
for
that
the
up.
listeners, you got to tell the
Well,
story.
it's the
I mean,
story
what the
where
hell?
Kane, like, what was it? That he was trying to get everybody on the bus, and
Yeah.
he found out you were like standing behind, waiting, and you were
Yeah.
late for the bus because you were talking to Taylor Swift, and he had no idea who Taylor Swift was, right?
So he's pulling me away from her, like, "Hey, let's go. We got to get on the bus here." So he loves that story, though. He's always bringing that up.
A lot of your
Patrick
former
was working on his night moves.
Well, yeah. A lot of your former teammates are they're working in front offices. Like you mentioned,
Yeah.
Sharpie's where Campbell's doing it
Yeah.
for the Hawks.
Yeah.
Seabrook
Seabrook's with Calgary
is
now,
is
yeah.
working for Calgary. Do you ever want to
Bouncers.
do that when you're done, or do you think like
I don't think so, but I mean, I guess you never know, right?
Yeah.
When you're done and maybe a couple years go by and all of a sudden you want to get back into it. But right now, I don't really have any desire to do that.
All right, so again, Eventbrite is where you got to go for Patrick
Yeah.
Kane Day. So the full details, and you can buy tickets for everything at Eventbrite. Search Patrick Kane. It's happening in town on Friday, August 8th, 8/8. Celebrate Kaner's legacy here. Again, they got a youth hockey clinic happening at Johnny's West starting at 9 a.m. You can also get tickets for an exclusive autograph signing at the Chicago Sports Museum. That's going to be midday at 11:30. And then the Q&A with Pat Boyle hosting the event over at Morgan Manufacturing, which is a really cool, sleek event space in the West Loop. That's at 6:30 on that Friday night. What a way to roll into the weekend. So you're set. You mentioned you signed that 1-year deal with Detroit. Did you think you kicked the tires on anybody else, or you like being in Detroit?
No, I think I guess you never really know if things are going to work out, but I think there was some mutual interest in both sides of getting something done. So, it came down to the last day right before free agency, but happy to be back. It's really a great spot. I guess, when you're in Chicago, Detroit is such a rivalry, right? You never think you're going to go play for them.
Yeah.
And never really crossed my mind, but it really is a great spot to play. The fans have really embraced me there. It's been awesome. And I enjoy being a Red Wing now. So, I mean, like I said, you think you're going to be in one place forever. It doesn't work out. Not everyone can do that. And, Detroit's been a great place for me to play and continue my career.
Do you enjoy being around DeBrincat so much still, too? Considering, like, another American-born kid that you got to play with when he was young here.
Yeah.
And you guys seem to have a pretty good bond and connection.
Yeah. I mean, we had a lot of chemistry here when we were playing together.
Yes.
They obviously traded him. he went to Ottawa, and then all of a sudden he's in Detroit, and then I'm coming back from my surgery, and I'm trying to pick what team to go to, and that was a big reason I decided to go to Detroit, especially when you find out they're interested. So I'm happy that we're together. Our boys are similar age, too, so they're like best buddies, and they're always, playing together. So, yeah, it's a good setup.
What did you think of that Four Nations?
It was incredible.
Awesome.
It was awesome, yeah. Great hockey. Obviously, another thing you're watching that you wish you could be part of, but it really was entertaining.
America's chances at the Olympics next year, what do you think?
Oh, I think they're probably as high as anyone's, right?
We're pretty good, right?
Yeah. There's
the Russians will be there.
The Russians
like
will
the
be
Four
there.
Nations,
That's
the
true,
Russians
but,
will be there.
But we're pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Those Kachuk boys can play.
Yeah.
They're tough
kind of
SOBs.
lead the way, and you lose the Four Nations by 1 goal. I think there's a lot of confidence going into to the Olympics next year for sure.
Can you believe Ovi broke the goals record too? I mean, even 5 years ago,
Yeah.
it was like, I never thought he's going to score 900 goals.
Incredible. And you see, like, he does things his own way. you know? He eats what he wants.
Yes.
He does
Drinks
what he wants off the
It's
ice,
crazy.
and he finds ways to score. Though he can still score, and that's there's no doubt about that. But that was a record that I don't think anyone thought was going to be broken.
Never. It's wild.
Yeah,
This is
he's going to get
incredible.
900. It's wild.
It's a great year for the NHL. Like that chase in the spring and the Four Nations, and it really was. It was really
it's
good.
in a good. The game's in a good spot.
Absolutely. All right, eventbrite.com. Search Patrick Kane. Simple as that for Patrick Kane Day next month. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for jumping in. It's great catching up with you a little bit.
Yeah.
All
Carmen, thanks for having me.
You got it. That's Patrick Kane.